KEMPER PROFILER Tones and Talks, Season 2. And we're coming here with a special broadcast. In Germany, we call that Sondersendung, so to say. We're speaking and learning about liquid profiling. And who better could be helping us out and telling us everything that's important to know about it? We have Thomas Dill again with us. Hi.
Hi.
And yeah, Thomas has already tried and successfully used liquid profiling, and he will share with us all the nuts and bolts, do's and don'ts, and some very special situations. And he already has some solutions and tips and tricks how to deal with them. So let's dive right in. Liquid profiling, the talk of the town for quite a while. What's your approach to liquid profiling? You have prepared some basic information for us to start.
First of all, everything is just what I'm telling now is just learning by doing. So it's not really strictly the best version to do this. It's just things that I found out. I studied the manual for liquid profiling, and started to do some profiles on these amps in the back here. And but first of all, let's take a look what's that all about, liquid profiling, what's new, and how you should do that. So we have this one here, just a few pictures. So the classic profiling, how they call it now. So the old school way of how it was done, the last 10 years, I think was 10 years. So you see here a Marshall amp with his, from my opinion, sweet spot setting. What I like, the channels jumpered and high treble at 4, normal volume at 2, and presence treble turned down to 2, about bass on 6, middle on 7. And when you make a classic profile of that, the profiler shows you this. So he adjusts the gain by himself, and bass, middle, treble, presence are in the neutral position. So you get from this sweet spot setting a new neutral setting on the profiler. This is the starting point for this sound. So let's say it's something like a snapshot of the original amp sound, which can be moved by bass, middle, by the EQ and gain, but it's not so close to the original amp, depending on the amp type. And that's what the people did in the past. You need various sweet spot settings of your amp, because most amps have various sweet spot settings to capture the whole range of the amp. And with the liquid profiling, you don't really need to do that. Just so for in case if you don't have switches or something like that on the amp. So liquid profiling, you can do it in 2 ways. The first way is the sweet spot setting. So this is the same as the classic profile. You adjust your amp to his sweet spot, and then you take a profile. But before you take the profile, you adjust the amp model, the tone stack. So this is a Marshall Plexi, the bright channel. Then you adjust the pots. Gain pot reference is on 4. That means high treble is on 4. Bass on 6, like on the original amp. Middle on 7. Treble on 1.6. Presence on 1.7, some around that. And then you take the profile, refine it, adjust it a little bit, and then store it. So this would be the next step to create a new profile, a liquid profile, which reacts like the amp reacts. And if you turn up the presence, it sounds like when you turn up the presence on the original amp. But it's a little bit, they don't recommend to do that this way, because it's not really 100% correct. And this is why, coming from the pots. So, for example, take 5 Marshall plexis, adjust them to the same setting, and they will sound different. Because especially when the pots are somewhere between middle, minimum, or maximum, so the taper is different on the pots, and to measure these sounds or measure these sound behavior of the amp, it's better to do the neutral way. So this is this one. You place everything from the EQ in the middle position. So 12 o'clock, or from the Marshall on 5. The gain is really great to analyze when you place it at maximum. So friends, this is really loud for that Marshall, and it was earth-shaking sounds when I profiled this amp, and I didn't do it once. I did I think about 20 profiles to check that. Everything on maximum volume, no a power soak or something like that. It's really loud, but it works. So you get a really something electrically stable sound, perfect for analysis, and to match for the integrated tone stacks. And this is what I adjusted at the profiler while I was profiling. So there's a knob called gain pot reference. I put that on 10. High treble is on 10. Took the Marshall Plex Bright amp model, and easy thing, bass, middle, treble, presence, all in the middle. And then you take the profile, then go back to the sweet spot setting from the Marshall amp, compare it, and especially turn on the sweet spot setting at the profiler too. Compare it, adjust a little bit. I will show you something later for that one. And then store it. And in that way, you can compensate the difference of the pot's range from the original amp. And you get a light, better profile when you want to tweak the sound. But it really doesn't sound great when you take the profile. So this is something that some people might get confused. So you turn on the knobs and it sounds, not great. I will show you now. But for tweaking, it's great to do that. So.
Yeah, that's what we had because I visited Guido Bungenstock when he was doing the Kemper Liquid Profile Pack for the release of the liquid profiling beta version, and we had this as well. And I wrote on the video that please ignore the fact that it might not sound to your liking, and stick with it even during the A/B comparison and the refining. Ignore that it's not, the sound is not to your liking, because this is more like a scientific measuring process. It's not about tonal finesse here.
The guys
more like you're with a white coat and
the white coat guys from the old school Abbey Road.
The sweet spot profiling is artistic and tonal finesse, and liquid profiling, to take the profiles, is more like the white coat thing, right?
Yeah. But
But
for me,
the result is, of course.
yeah, for me, it's in the second step. It's great to adjust the sweet spot at the profiler, because that's where you're going to. So nobody cares about the sweet spot on your original amp. So it needs to fit and sound in the profiler. So that's cool too. And if you can dial in a sweet spot at your amp, you can dial in the sweet spot at the profiler. So no problem. Yeah. So you like to listen to something?
Yes, and I'm curious because during the last days, of course, you see some first reactions from the people on the interwebs, and the essence was that they have the idea that, okay, you don't need to make like 20 profiles of one amp anymore, because if you do it properly, you would be able to access all the tonal conditions of the profiled amp through the liquid profiling tech, because now the tone knob and the gain work as the original amp works. Can you, no, don't answer right now, don't, because I think we will find out through your experiments if that is true. But that's, the promise and yeah, the great hope, because it makes things so much easier.
It depends. Just to go further, it depends on the amp. So and like I said before, an easy amp with just gain and EQ, no bright switch, no other things, is easy to profile, and you can focus. That's what I did. I focus on different speakers, take different microphones, different mic positions. So you end up doing, maybe 20 profiles of an amp, but just with these small variations, not variations in the amp settings. And that's great for me. And okay, so take a look at the rig manager. Here we are. And here is the Marshall Plexi with a Royer microphone, gain on 10, bass, middle, treble, presence in the middle, and the Marshall Plexi Bright. So this is nice maximum, and it is not much volume now. So dialing the sweet spot setting was, I think it was 4, the bass on 6, middle on 7, treble, something like 1.9, 1.8. So this is my sweet spot setting. Sounds like the Plexi, and it's a bit bright. So check that out. Maximum gain, turning the gain down, gets this brighter tone. And this is because of the bright cap in some amplifiers. And this is really great.
What's the bright cap? It's a yellow colored head. The bright cap.
It's I'm no electronic freak or something like that. Amps have a capacitor in the gain of wired in connection to the gain knob, and when you turn the gain knob down, the tone gets brighter. And some Fender amps don't have it in the normal channel. In the bright channel, they have it. The Marshall Plexi has it in the high treble channel and don't has it in the second channel. And you can combine those channels to get this, get rid of the brightness, the harshness of the tone. When that's what I did for my sweet spot setting, turning the normal treble, normal volume a little bit up to get a more warmer, fully bass sound.
Yeah, that's basically the same effect you would have with the volume knobs on your guitar. They're the ones which have this capacitor between the two connectors. So when you run the volume lower, more high frequencies will still go through.
Yeah.
And that's basically the same thing there, right?
Yeah. And wait a minute, we can go to the rig manager. So you see, gain is on 2.9. Harsher sound. And here we have a more warmer tone. So on the profiler, it's not now on this rig manager version. In the rig manager editor, there's a control. Wait, I need to go back, take the other camera, and here you see my profiler screen, and there's the bright cap intensity. So I'm at 3.4, the gain, and when I turn the bright cap intensity down, it sounds like there's no bright cap. Total difference.
Oh yeah, wow.
Bright cap on, maximum.
Wow, that's pretty effective, and also it works completely different than an EQ because it has an impact on the entire tonal distortion, attack, sparkle.
The sparkle knob.
That's
let's call it the sparkle knob.
Yeah, that works with the guitar. So tell me, why is that not to be seen on the rig manager? This parameter.
I don't know. But I asked Christoph, and they will do that on the rig manager. They need to do that, especially these other knobs too. That you can see. I will show you that later. Another thing, there's restore gain, restore amp model, restore EQ, and burn. Yeah, maybe those switches don't need to be at the rig manager, the burn switch, because you need to long press this switch, but especially the bright cap intensity should be on the rig manager.
Yeah, then I think maybe it's down to the fact we're still, as we are speaking here, where we're dealing with the first beta version. And also the rig manager, of course, will come up with all the stuff during the next iterations of its release. I think we're right at 3.4 something. So I'm sure that will be all fixed and working together nicely when the beta phase is over.
Okay, and if you like to mix those sounds or get this, I showed you, you get the channel 2 sound when you turn the bright cap down, or maybe just turning the Marshall Plexi normal tone stack. But if you like to mix this stuff, then take Marshall Plexi Bright. I will show you at the rig manager. Oh no, confusing, too much cameras. So here we are. Marshall Plexi Bright is still the amp model. The gain is set at 3.4. And for me, the Bright Cap in something like 6 or 7 sounds good. This is too harsh for me. This is just the Bright channel.
We'll get another YouTube copyright
oh shit.
Notification. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I need to play that all that stuff wrong. Okay, so this is check out these Bright Cap stuff, Bright Cap intensity. If you have some profiles that sound too harsh, don't go at first to the presence or treble. Just check out the Bright Cap, then maybe definition, and then EQ of combining those stuff. That's what I did on dialing that sounds and getting those sounds. And you have really a lot of variations with these liquid profiles and these tone stacks in combination with the Bright Cap intensity and everything.
Well, that's that's totally egotistically, because I have my profiler stage like a little bit away from the desk. I control it completely with the rig manager, and I wasn't aware about this accessible parameter Bright Cap. So this makes really a huge difference, and now you will be even more able to play authentic, and and that's pretty cool. So thank you for this.
So flight modus, nobody can call it. Okay, so this is the first thing. I need to look a little bit on my notes. Next thing is, what's better? Sweet spot profiling versus neutral profiling. Here's the next example.
White coat profiling.
Cold profiling?
White coat.
White coat profiling, yeah. Good sounding profiling and white coat profiling. So here we are, rig manager, and the next guy is the guy behind me, the JCM 800. Here's the sound with a sweet spot profile. So JCM 800 for me is that one.
Yeah. Of course.
It needs to sound this. That really crying tone on the neck pickup on the Les Paul. So that was my setting on the JCM 800. Gain at 8, bass 6.8, middle 4, treble 4, presence 8.2. And I took the amp model Mars CM 800 here. And that's all. I did all that. Oh, I need to show you before everything. This is the rig manager when you turn on the profiling. So you have the EQ here. When you do your profile, you choose your amp model, in that case, CM 800. Then you set gain pot reference. So that means the gain, it was at, something like 8. Then bass, middle, treble presence. So this is when you do the sweet spot profiling. Then start profiling, and yeah, the aliens are landing in your amp. Okay, going back to the browser. And yeah, the next thing is, so this is just sweet spot. This is the neutral setting. So gain at 10, bass, middle, treble, the white coat setting. Amp model CM800. Okay, then I tweaked this one to the settings of my sweet spot profile. Just, I like to show you. Here's the sweet spot. And this is the other one, the neutral tweaked. Sweet spot. Neutral tweaked. And as you can hear, it sounds a little bit brighter. This is something Christoph told me, it's about these presence knobs. And maybe, yeah, the taper on the pots and these slightly different. So if you're profiling with the white coat neutral setting, and you adjust the tone after profiling to the sweet spot sound, then yeah, take your ears, listen to the sound, and maybe turn down the presence. Maybe turn down a bit of definition. And maybe, wait a minute, the bright cap. Bright cap intensity. It's not really much because I turned the gain not really much down. So from 10 to 8.1 is not heavy. So the impact on the bright cap intensity knob is not really that much, but a little bit. And cool. Oh. And really cool to just fine tune the sound. Turning the So that one, and yeah, even wait. Show you the settings. Going a little bit more down on that one. So this is the tweaked neutral setting. Now the sweet spot setting, and tweak it a little bit to get this Tom Morello. That one compared to this, turning a little bit down. For me, it sounds a bit, how could I say, more three-dimensional, more better. I tried it in some recordings. It suits better in the mix. When you tweak a neutral setting. So the profit of the sweet spot setting is when you only have this setting, and this is your your sound, take the sweet spot and you're done. So, but if you like to adjust a little bit, so there are different sounds, what you can create with a JCM 800 profile. So then, yeah, for me, it's better to take the neutral one.
So that means that what we said before, that the possibility to take one profile and have all the possibilities then with it afterwards, you would recommend to take the white coat profile. Aha.
But
of course, no, go on.
Now, yeah, it's great. I think for amps coming with a gain stage like the JCM 800. So all the low gain amps, great. I did some profiles from my old Fender Twin. Everything on 10, so volume on 10, it's really not that twin sound, but you get the twin sound when you take the volume down, take the gain down, and everything. Hey, I can show you.
Oh, it's amazing.
Wait, it's not here on my list, but why not? Here, Fender Twin. This is the one with. Let's take the Roya. No. Here. So it's not really twin sound. But then take the gain down. Bass a little bit less, middle, treble a bit more. Crunchy, a little bit less gain. Bit too much treble. Then maybe take the bright cap intensity a little bit down. Oh. This one. And of course here, spring reverb and tremolo.
Cool.
Tremolo behind the spring reverb, like on the old Fender's amps. So you have the intensity. Let me show you the reverb. Getting these tremolo sounds. So yeah, it works for me, and it's a little bit easier to create these profiles. So you just need to turn down your ears when you set everything on the middle position. But what I wanted to say is great for low gain, mid gain amps. The other guy behind me, the PV 6505 high gain amp, that was a bit difficult. And I'd like to show you my first version of this amp. Profiled at maximum gain. So yeah, the gain knob full up, and the volume channel volume was at 12 o'clock, middle position, and this is the sound. You see, I don't know what the profiler did on that one. Turned the definition at 0.7, gain at 10, yeah, okay. I took the PV 5150, which is same architecture than the 6505, and everything in the middle position. It didn't really sound good. I told that Christoph, he said, oh, normally that couldn't be, but yeah, it happened. I can make shit happen. So I did the other way. Take the gain at the middle position. So while profiling,
actually, at this point, the question: how did you activate the profiling menu in the rig manager?
Just on the profiler.
What?
On the profiler. Now I'm in the browser mode on the profiler. Wait.
I believe you. I believe you. So you have to start the profiling mode on the profiler.
Here's the guy. Turning to the profiling assistant or profiler here. Now
okay. Then it shows up in the rig manager.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
So you get.
No, I got it because I was looking for it.
Yeah. There's no knob or button at the rig manager. It's the same as switching from browser mode to performance mode.
Okay.
So you do that on the profiler.
Okay. Maybe it's for safety as well, and to make sure that everything is in the correct mode. I understand that. Okay. Yeah. But I didn't know that. So good. Thank you.
Okay. I took here PV5150 gain pot reference for this first one at 10, and this was the setting. Now I did gain pot at 5 or 4.9. Maybe I didn't really adjust it right, and took the other profile, second one, and this was really much better. You see it. The definition is at 6. You can adjust a little bit more gain, maybe a little bit more bass, turn the treble down, bit presence. So it's
all right. Yeah.
Getting this tone of the high gain amp. Maybe be careful with the gain settings, or just try some stuff. And yeah, my starting point for each amp, what I profiled, was EQ in the middle position, gain at maximum, and listen how it sounds. And if it doesn't if it doesn't sound good, then go back with the gain. And maybe check out some the volume setting on the channel volume, because if you have a higher channel volume, you get the power amp a little bit more driven, and this can create some weird sounds maybe too. So you should really experiment with those knobs. But starting point, EQ, middle position, gain maximum, close your ears, and dial in your sweet spot setting afterwards at the profiler.
So, and just to make sure, you used cabinets and microphones. You did not use a speaker.
No. I have in the other room an old Marshall cap with black backs and different microphones, Royer, Neumann,
Okay.
all that stuff. And I really, for some sounds, important thing, I start with the sweet spot setting. So that means I dial in at the original amp the sweet spot, then place the microphone at the right position. So sometimes, the JCM 800 sound that you heard was with a Neumann microphone, and this is a little bit more harsher than the Royer. So you need to check out this stuff really carefully and place the microphone. Sometimes I place the Royer really in the middle of the speaker with harsher sounds or harsher amps. I placed it a little bit outside of the middle. So this is the stuff that you need to do with the sweet spot setting on the amp. Then when everything's fine, when the amp sounds good, so it's like recording a tube amp. And when the sound is good, then turn it to bed, to the white coat setting, take the profile, forget everything, and take a coffee maybe, and then go back and dial in your sweet spot setting at the amp. Maybe compare it with the original sound and then store it. For me, I didn't store the sweet spot setting. I just stored everything at neutral, and starting in the second iteration of tweaking the profiles at the sweet spot setting. So I copy everything and go then to the sweet spot setting and to the dial, to the tweaking and adjusting the sounds.
Wonderful. That's a lot of additional information. I mean, I was with the entire process of the liquid profiling being planned, and the thought process and bringing it to the stage that it's now released as a beta version. But actually using it and drawing these conclusions and these experiences you made, that's an incredible added value, and I know much better how to approach it and what the value is. So I hope everybody out there will learn from this as well, and that you get an idea how you can maneuver the entire thing, which is, of course, with tube amps and microphones and so many parameters in this whole operation and process, that you get an idea of how to where to tweak, where to experiment, and where to stick to protocol, so to say. And we'll be back with more, and now even Thomas has more, I see. It's not only important when you make profiles by yourself. It's also important to check out these things when you load a tone stack on an existing classic profile. Check out the bright cap intensity and everything. You have one more parameter which makes a great tone and easy to use parameters. So we guitar players like one knob stuff. Yeah.
Where everything changes to, now it sounds great. Perfect.
Yeah, and especially today. Again, bright cap people, that's for me today the money shot totally, because then you can season to taste how harsh and bright and sparkly your amp is sounding. Huh, Thomas?
One more. Bright cap isn't always available. Here we are. Oh, now it's getting, but you might, can you see it? It's not really.
It's good enough because we know.
So here you see bright intensity. Then if you I take Fender Bassmaster normal, then bright cap intensity is not there. So that means if you take an amp type where's no bright cap on this original amp, then you can't have the bright cap intensity parameter available. This is no wrong function or something like that. When you don't see the bright cap intensity, then it's not there at the original amp.
Okay, I see. Is there? Can you say how this would be not there generally? Like with older Fender amps, it's not there, or
it's in the normal.
Or is it all over the place?
Oh, in the normal channels, you have wait. So it's bassman normal. There's no bright cap. If you take bassman bright,
okay, I see.
that's the bright cap then on my amp. You see it here, normal, bright. All the bright ones have the bright cap. The Fender normals, I think they don't have it. And Vox also has the bright cap, of course. Then the Marshall. Oh no, Roland, not. Marshall normal has no bright cap. Marshall bright has, as they say, the bright cap.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes it easier because it's like to retrofit stuff. It helps.
And sometimes, we come to that in the next episode, changing tone stacks and everything like that. Sometimes it's great to try something, even if you have a profile of an amp that has no bright cap. Yeah, why not? Taking a tone stack with a bright cap and dial in a little bit more, shining sound for more treble and more cutting through the mix and everything. So you don't have to stick at the original.
Here's a question, because I'm this volume knob guy. The bright cap, does it work with only with the gain of the amp, or does it have an impact when you roll down the volume on the guitar as well? Does it make a difference cleaning up with the guitar volume knob?
Right. Here we are. Here's the Marshall. Going back to E. So the gain is at, let's say 4. There you have this great range. This is what I like at the amp total. So my guitar volume is at 10. Turning it down, for me, it's like on the original amp. So it works great. And
so if you would include, I'm just wondering if the question makes sense.
The problem is, maybe somebody gets confused about this treble bleed, bright cap stuff. So the bright cap only works when you turn the gain down. So the bright cap has no impact when the gain is at maximum. It's only like on the guitar. When rolling off the gain, then the sound gets a little bit brighter. And especially if you're playing with maximum volume and with less volume. Let's check out something else. I turn up the volume, turn down the volume on the guitar. Here we are. Maybe it's better to use a single coil guitar, then you have more treble. When I now turn the bright cap intensity all the way down, nothing happens. Because gain is at maximum. The bright cap doesn't have any impact on the tone. It only has impact on the tone when you turn the amp gain down. Then you get this treble sound.
I see. Okay. Also very important. Yeah, cool. Am I right to suggest that we wrap it up at this place, or do you have some more things to add for this part of the bigger, humongous picture that is now opened up with liquid profiling? Because we'll be back with another episode dealing with liquid profiling, and with this episode, then we will, respectively, you will address more special amps which are not so straightforward to deal with, because they have much more option and much more gain stages and things like this, which might be a little bit more tricky, but we will find out in the next episode. So amazingly, awesome, huge, humongous thanks to Thomas for doing this, sharing, the practical aspects of it so quickly, still in the beta phase of the software. For me, it has opened up a lot of insights I wasn't aware of. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time very soon with the next episode dealing with liquid profiling. Bye-bye.
Bye.